Hello, Lego over here, and we're back today on F1 2020. And as you can see, we are here at Brazil, and we are here for the FOCC XRL Season 1 finale. And already you can notice something different, and it's that I'm driving in Cockpit cam. And that's something that I don't normally do in my league races, and I'm doing it for this race because quite a while back in this season, I think around round 4, I was challenged to doing a league race in this season in cockpit view, so I chose the finale just to make it a bit special, and it was definitely a special race here. Very, very eventful, so you want to stick around and see what happens here. But you just saw our banker lap on the mediums. I was just trying to get a rough estimate of my pace on the mediums, and currently we are P3 as we cut on to our final lap of the session. And we're now on the softs as we start our lap, so we're going to try and improve and get pole here in cockpit view. Heading through turns 1, 2, and 3, missed the apex quite a bit at turn 1. I was having a hard time reaching my full pace in cockpit view just because I don't have much experience in cockpit view, and it's a lot more difficult to judge track limits and where the car is when you're in this camera view. So definitely not anywhere near my normal pace, but still trying our best. This is all just for fun here, driving in cockpit view, as it's the finale and I've secured both championships here. So just trying to set a decent lap at least as we're heading through the final few corners here. It's a purple first sector and it's a purple second sector, so clearly still a good lap. And now heading down this straight here, just staying tight to the inside to minimize the run up to the line here. And we have the DRS wide open as we run up to the line, and it's a 7.5, which is enough for pole. That's actually around 7/10 off of my PB normally, so that just shows the pace difference from my normal camera view to cockpit view. But you can see the strategy and race director here, and it's going to be soft medium, easy one stop as we cut on to us lining up on the grid here. Going to try and get a good start here as it's 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights here, and it's lights out, and let's go racing for the final time in this season. And we get a pretty good start here. Kimi hits us slightly, so we're side by side here going through turn 2. We give him a squeeze exiting turn 2, and going through turn 3 we have to leave him the space because he's on the inside. But as soon as we get ahead, we go defensive here. Going into turn 4 now, and a couple cars behind us going side by side, having looks on me actually to go for a move on me, but none of them are able to get the moves done. And now heading through these sector 2 corners, I think, and really at this point of the race, on the first stint, we kind of checked out because a lot of the guys behind started battling and just losing time really to me in front, and it just allowed me to have time to get in the groove with the race setup basically, and get in the groove with the cockpit view. So we're gonna cut on to a couple of laps actually, and it's just gonna show as I keep improving lap after lap here, just getting in the groove, getting comfortable in the race conditions in this cockpit view as we're heading into turn 1. So just trying to get in the groove on this first stint here, as I said earlier. And now heading through turn 3, no DRS obviously as it's only lap 2, and you can see the gap behind is already over 2 seconds because those guys are battling so hard here. So it allows us to pull away, as I said, and we're just going to cut lap after lap here, just showing my improvements in this cockpit cam, just getting more and more comfortable lap after lap and finding some more pace, even if it's not insane pace. And as we cut onto the end of lap 16, that's all that happened in this first stint, and now we're going to head into the pit lane for our one and only stop, hopefully, onto the medium tire. And we push these tires quite a lot here. You can see 66% on the front right, but now we are making our pit stop onto the mediums, I actually couldn't see the little hit light at the front of the pit box that they show you, so I had to go off of the little indicator that the wheel gives you. That's quite cool. That lets you know when to release the clutch. But we are heading through the pit exit now. Definitely a pretty tricky pit exit, I would say, because it's easy to hit the wall, especially at that final part of the pit exit. But now we're heading into turn 4, and we're still ahead of the guys behind. And now, once again, just like we did on the first stint, we're going to try and get in a groove with these tires so that we can continue to pull away, hopefully, and just check out of this race, really. But we're heading through the second sector now, and at this stage of the race, I was getting more and more comfortable with Cockpit Cam and kind of getting more and more consistent. Even if the pace wasn't insane, I wasn't expecting it to be great, as Cockpit View is not my view of choice, obviously, as I do my league races in TV Pod. But we are heading out of the final corner now, and the safety car has actually been deployed here. So it is bad timing for us because it's literally been brought out one lap after we made our pit stop. So if we had stayed out one more lap, which I definitely could have done, we would have gotten a free pit stop. But it really wouldn't have made much of a difference because we still came out ahead anyway after making our pit stop. But we're cutting onto the end of this safety car. The whole field has bunched up now. We're gonna go soon, and we go now, making it as unpredictable as possible because we were weaving the entire time right up until the point where I went full throttle just to try and keep temperature in the tires, and as well as that, make the restart unpredictable for the guys behind. But now we're gonna stay on board for a lot of this latter part of the race here, because we're gonna be in a 16 lap long battle with Aidan Is Raidin behind us. Yeah, you heard that right. So it's gonna be a great, intense battle here. One of my most intense battles in league racing, and you're about to see it here as we're heading through Sector 2 now, and now braking for this corner before we head into the final few corners. And Aidan Is Raidin is 3/10 behind us at the moment here, and surely he'll be able to mount a challenge to us soon enough in this race, as we're heading out of the final corner now, heading down this straight. And we don't have DRS, obviously. No one has DRS on this safety car restart. And now heading down the straight into turn 1. Aidan Is Raidin sets the fastest lap, but he's not close enough to make a move on us. And we're currently in pretty much we are in defense mode, and it kind of stayed that way for a couple of laps until lap 23. You can see we've made a mistake. We've locked up and gone deep at turn 1, which allows Aidan to close up on us rapidly here, going down the second straight, and Aidan has a massive overspeed on us. He's going to try and go around the outside at turn 4, and he makes the move stick. So Aidan Is Raidin is currently leading this race here, and we're going to try and regain lost ground here so we can try and mount a challenge to him and retake the lead of this race, as we get our second warning in this race, which is not ideal because now we only have one more before we are getting a penalty. So we got to try and keep it clean for the rest of this race. But heading through these final few corners, and we're very close to Aidan up ahead. The gap is 7/10, so we are going to have the DRS here. So heading out of the final corner, we have 30% battery to use, and we're going to use a lot of it here. We have the DRS activated now, rear wing wide open, going into turn 1. We're going to try and go around the outside here, but I've clipped the grass and made a huge mistake, and that was complete driver error by me because I simply couldn't see where my front left tire was in this cockpit view, and I ended up clipping the grass and going way deep. Luckily, I ended up keeping it from a spin, but we had to make up lost ground once again, and we had to play catch up for a few laps before cutting on to lap 27 of this race. And we're going to try and make a move on Aidan up ahead. We tap him slightly, just a misjudgment from us, but luckily no damage to any car. And now heading into turn 1, we're going to try and go around the outside, but Aidan goes massively out deep, and it forces us to back out of the move. And now it looks like Aidan's conceding that position because of that. So there's actually a blue flag car up ahead of us as well. So that's going to make this battle even more interesting. Heading into turn 4, and Aidan tries it around the outside. Slight wheel banging here. Now heading through this section here. Now into this high-speed right-hander. And Aidan has a look down the inside at the last minute, so we have to leave him space. But we're going to try and come back at him around the outside here, but we're unable to keep alongside him, and Aidan keeps the position for another lap as finally the Red Bull gets out of the way after our very intense battle on that lap. But we're now going to try and mount a challenge once again down the main straight. We're going to use the battery, we're going to have the ERS, and we're going to use the fuel mix to our advantage, as you can see here. And now heading down the main straight here, we're very close to Aidan Is Raidin. DRS rear wing wide open here, and now heading into turn 1, Aidan goes defensive, so we're going to try around the outside once again, but Aidan goes deep, so we try and make a switchback move work, but it doesn't work on that occasion. Now Aidan Is Raidin still up ahead of us here as we activate the DRS, and going into turn 4, it looks like we won't be able to mount a challenge to him, so we're going to probably have to play catch up for the rest of this lap. And as we cut on to the end of that same lap, we weren't able to make any moves, but going onto the main straight now, and once again we're going to have the DRS, and we're going to use the overtake button. Now heading down the main straight, look at the overspeed we have with the slipstream. We're going to try it around the outside here, going into the braking zone now, and we're side by side, and going through turn 2, we have position for now. Going through turn 3, we're going to use the overtake button, but we're going to try and cover up the inside, but Aidan Is Raidin finds a gap there, and somehow he has managed to keep position. He found some sort of gap on the inside there, and he managed to get the move done into turn 4. And now you can see his red light is flashing, so both of us are very low on the ERS levels. So heading through this second sector now, this sector is very good for recharging the battery, so you can deploy it in the first sector where there's 2 long straights and DRS zones. So just recharging the battery here as we're heading through this sequence of corners into this final braking zone of the lap. And now heading onto the main straight, we are using the overtake button. We're going to have the DRS once again here. We're going to use the rich mix. We have the slipstream. We're surely going to have a huge overspeed on him. We have no ERS left, but we're still going to try it around the outside at turn 1. But I go deep, but we try and go for the switchback move, unable to make it work, but going through and out of turn 3, and we have the DRS still. And going into turn 4, we're going to try and go for a move. We're going to go around the outside here, and we're unable to make the move work. So this very intense battle is surely going to be intense all the way up to the end of the race here. And once again, through sector 2, just going to try and recharge the battery to mount an attack in sector 1. So now heading through this sequence of corners, and the gap to Aidan is just 3/10 because we're so close to him. Now heading through this corner, and Aidan's trying all sorts of lines to try and maybe get an advantage on us, but nothing working there. Now heading into the final braking zone of the lap, once again exiting onto the main straight. We're going to use the battery power, and this time we are very close. And now using the DRS, the slipstream, and the overtake button, heading into turn 1, we're going to go down the inside this time and heading into the braking zone, and we're going to see if we can hold position here. But Aidan somehow keeps alongside, and he keeps the position for now. Heading out of turn 3, and we're very close to him. We're surely going to have a go into turn 4. We go down the inside once again into the braking zone, and we make huge contact. Both of us go wide, so I decide to concede the position for now, and we can have another go on the next lap here. Just once again recharging in this second sector. I've probably said that a lot in this video, but it is simply what we're doing lap after lap here. And now heading through this corner, and now exiting, and once again very close to Aidan up ahead. We seem to be pretty good at following him, in the second sector, so we're not losing much time at all to him up in front. So now heading into the final braking zone of the lap once again. Now heading onto the main straight, we're going to use the battery power once again. Rich mix engaged. We're going to have the DRS here, and we're going to use the slipstream. And now going into turn 1, which way are we going to go? We're going to try and go around the outside at turn 1 once again here, and Aidan keeps the position for now, so we're going to try and get a better exit out of turn 3. We're going to use the overtake button here. We're going to have the DRS, but it doesn't look like we're going to be close enough into turn 4. Aidan does go defensive, but we aren't able to make a move around the outside. So now heading through this little section here, and now heading into this right-hander, and once again very close to Aidan up ahead. He goes slightly wide there, so it allows us to close up a little bit. Just 0.6 or half a second is the gap to Aidan up ahead, and you can see we're starting to have blue flag traffic up ahead, so that might affect this battle here. Now the blue flags are waving. Aidan's gone wide to get ahead of the blue flag car, and we've gotten ahead quite nicely as well. So now heading down the main straight, and we have gotten a very, very good exit here. Look at how close we are as we activate the DRS. And now heading down the main straight, we pull out of the slipstream at the last second. And now heading into turn 1, we're going to try around the outside. Aidan taps us on the rear. He missed the braking point and ended up causing us to go deep as well. So he keeps the position for now. But heading out of turn 3, we have the DRS once again. We're going to go down the inside for turn 4. We're going to try and get the move done. And now heading through turn 4, we make slight contact, but we get the better exit, and we're ahead for now. Heading into this right-hander, and Aidan's going to be side by side with us. We leave him enough space, and now we're going to try and keep it around the outside of him through this corner. Through sector 2, we're going to have the inside for this corner, but Aidan's going to be able to carry the speed around the outside to get a better exit. Now through here, and we end up clipping the grass from a simple misjudgment, as it's hard to judge sometimes in cockpit view, and Aidan ends up keeping the position for now, and we make a mistake, and we end up going wide, getting oversteer, and getting a penalty. So we kept it clean for almost the entire race just to make a silly mistake there. So we're probably out of contention for the win, unfortunately, but we're still going to try and win it on track. Once again, pulling out of the slipstream last second, and now heading into turn 1, we're going to try and go around the outside. Turn 2, nothing working there, and now through turn 3, Aidan's gotten the better exit here, and we're still using the battery power. We have the DRS here on lap 35 of this race, heading into turn 4, and we're unable to make anything work here. Now heading out of turn 4 through turn 5, and now shortly we're going to head into this high-speed right-hander, and we're just going to try and close up on Aidan up ahead of us. It's very difficult to do so at this stage of the race because we have such little battery power to play with here. But heading out of that corner, and now into this one, this braking zone right here, and we're very close to Aidan up ahead. The gap is just half a second as we head through this flat-out left-hander into the final braking zone of the track. And now we're going to head onto the main straight for the penultimate time here, using the battery power once again, and Aidan is quite a long ways up ahead this time. Now heading into turn 1, look at the overspeed that we have with the slipstream. Aidan goes defensive, but we're not close enough to make a move here, so we try and go for the switchback move. And now heading out of turn 3, we're much closer to Aidan, but will we be able to make a move into turn 4? That is the question. Heading into turn 4, and we're not able to make a move here. So we either have to make an insane move through sector 2, or that's it, and Aidan wins this race on track. And now heading through this right-hander into this braking zone, and it seems like Aidan is going to secure the win on track here. So heading through this braking zone, and I've just realized Aidan Is Raidin. That's a 3-second time penalty as well. So it does look like we were able to challenge for the win, but we weren't able to close up in time, and it looks like Aidan is going to claim victory here in this race. In the finale, Aidan claims victory. We come home in P2. The checkered flag waves as Aidan spins across the finish line and takes us with him. And now, I think the halo saved us there. But you can see our car with no front wheels anymore. Someone's got to pay for that, and it's not going to be me. But Kevin Magnussen is driver of the day here. So that was such an insane race, as you can see the podium results here. Such an insane race, such an intense and amazing battle with Aidan Is Raidin. Great job from him to claim the victory. Overall, great race from both of us, especially great race from him. Great battling, as I said. And yeah, really, really awesome finale race. Really good way to finish off this season here. So you can see the race results on screen now. What a race that was.
Meanwhile.
But guys, that is going to be it for this video, and that's going to be it for this season of FOCC XRL. As for League Racing videos, do not worry, because there's still plenty of League Racing videos to come on this channel, so make sure to stay tuned for those. I'll still be sticking with the Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday schedule, so do not worry, still plenty of videos to come on this channel. As for next season of FOCC XRL, I don't have a date for that one yet, but as soon as it starts, I will be sure to start posting videos on it. Speaking of next season, it will be on the F1 2021 game. And speaking of the F1 2021 game, just over a month's time before that game is released. So make sure to stay tuned for some F1 2021 content very, very soon. But guys, that's going to be it from me today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.